So hi, my dear friends, back to the second part. And first topic over here is cell theory. Even we have certain topics like we are also going to learn about unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms, and more discoveries by certain scientists, which of course made us to understand and interpret about the cell in an efficient manner. We're also going to learn about the animal cells, basic structure of the animal cells and plant cells. So let's start with the cell theory. We have basically 3 points in the cell theory that all living things, even humans, animals, microorganisms, more, whatever, etc. All living things are made up of cells. And cells are basic unit of structure and function of living things. To know this, there were two people, okay? There were two people. First one is Schleiden and the other person is Schwann, okay? So they both worked with plants and animals respectively in order to state that, in order to deliver a statement that the cells are basic unit of structure and functional unit of living things. It's a basic unit of structure and function of living things. We learned that it's a fundamental unit, nothing but basic unit. And in the third point, it came at the later end that cells come from other cells. Nothing but cells arise from the pre-existing cells. And this was basically discovered, or it was being interpreted by Virchow. Okay, Rudolf Virchow. Okay, so he had seen those he had seen that cell division under the microscope, through which he stated that cells, certain cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Okay, I guess you got this topic. And next, it's about more discoveries. Of course, we know that cells are discovered by Robert Hooke. We learned in the introduction video, but he discovered it with primitive microscope. He had his own self-designed microscope, right? He had his self-designed microscope, but this improved microscope, which whatever it is there, it was invented at the later end of the 17th century in 1674 by Anton van Leeuwenhoek, right? Now, with this, it became easy for the scientists to discover and understand about the cell. Clear? Now, similarly, simultaneously, what happened? Many scientists came up with their theories, and similarly, a scientist named Robert Brown discovered the nucleus, the brain of the cell, in 1831. And Purkinje, he discovered or he coined the term protoplasm for the fluid substance of the cell. Okay, it was in 1839. Protoplasm is nothing but the living thing, living product, living substance of the cell. If it isn't there, then of course cell is nothing but a non-living product. Now, even cell theory. Okay, we know that who played a major role in the cell theory. Of course, the two biologists, a botanist and a zoologist, Schleiden and Schwann. They both, of course, they stated a statement that cells are the basic unit, basic structural and functional unit of living beings, right? And even Rudolf Virchow in 1855 suggested that cells arise from the pre-existing cells. And we could learn more things about the cells from 1940 because electron microscope, nothing but advanced microscope, okay? Advanced microscope, when we got those advanced microscopes, we could understand about the cell in more detailed manner, right? These are about the discoveries regarding the cell and which help to understand and interpret the cell. Now, next is of course organisms, which are classified on the basis of number of cells. Now, first is unicellular. Unicellular is nothing but we can understand from the word itself. Uni means single, cellular means cell, single-celled organisms. So unicellular organisms are nothing but single-celled organisms, or if you want to elaborate a bit, organisms that are made up of a single cell. Examples are given over here: amoeba, bacteria, paramecium. And in the multicellular, we can understand from there itself. Multi is nothing but multiple, multiple cells. Okay, cellular, multiple celled organism. Or we can even say that organism which is made up of many cells, more than one or two cells, something like that. And example is plants and animals. We are made up of billions, trillions of cells, right? We can't count. And next, we're just going to learn a basic structure of animal and plant cell. Now, in animal cell, we have nucleus, which we call it as the brain of the cell. It is basically located at the center of the cell. And we have cytoplasm. One more thing about nucleus is that it controls the cell. Okay, it's a control center of the cell. And cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance present in the middle of cell membrane and nucleus. It also has organelles like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, ribosomes, nucleus in it. These are cell organelles we're going to learn in our coming sessions. And you could see some yellow sort of thing there, right? It is nothing but cell membrane. It is a boundary of the cell. It is a boundary of the cell, or we can also say that it is a part or it is a structure of the cell that surrounds the cell. Okay? And a cell membrane is not rigid, whereas cell wall is rigid. Now, when we come to plant cell, basically animal cells, they're protected. Plant cells, they withstand with, they stand over there. They stand on the land with immense and different climates, different environments, different ecosystems. So at that time they need something additional layer so that they can protect themselves, right? That additional layer is nothing but cell wall. That is the only thing. One more change is that you can see nucleus is not at the center of the plant cell, because vacuole occupies the most of the space or the volume in it. Now, to understand more about the vacuole and all, we have to get into that cell organelles chapter. Not chapter exactly, the area where we learn about it. So that's all. Let's have again a gist. Let's again we call all the topics which we learned till now. Cell theory, we have three things: that living things are made up of cells. All living things, okay, all living things are made up of cells. Cell is a basic structure and functional unit of living things. Okay, two people worked on this: a botanist and a zoologist, Schladen and Schwann. They worked with plants and animals. They worked with plants and animal cells, respectively. Now, Rudolf Virchow, it's a third part in our cell theory. Rudolf Virchow stated that the cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Okay, he could understand that when he could, notice the cell division. Okay, he noticed it under the microscope, of course. We learned about the discovery of discovery of a cell under, discovery of different parts of the cell, like a nucleus by Robert Brown. Is it Robert Brown? Robert Brown and Purkinje, who who coined the term protoplasm, which is the living substance in the cell, or fluid substance. It's a living substance in the cell. Without it, a cell is like a non-living product. Now, in cell theory, we again learned about it. Of course, three people were involved to bring those three points, and we could understand more about the cell when this electron microscopes came up in 1940s. After 1940s, now organisms are classified into two types on the basis of number of cells: unicellular and multicellular. Okay, wait, I forgot to tell you one more thing. Now, basically, in multicellular organisms, we have billions of cells, and unicellular organism has single cell. So, of course, it will only carry out few life processes. It's not like that. A single cell is capable of, a single cell in that unicellular organism is capable of carrying out all the life processes what we carry out with billions of cells. So it can, whatever we do with the billions of cells, it can do with only the single cell. Now, we have, we human beings have an organized system. Like we have, for example, this cell has a particular or a specific function. It's not like that in the unicellular organisms. That single cell can do all the functions. Okay, we're getting the point? Yes. Okay, good. Now, the structure, basic structure, we learned about cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, and the animal cells. And there is an extra basic thing called cell wall in the plant cell. Okay, but cell membrane is there in the plant cell. Here in the image, the cell membrane isn't there, but cell membrane is there in the plant cell. Okay, I hope you understood all the topics over here, especially. Now, from the next video, we can focus on cell membrane in a detailed manner. We'll learn about diffusion, osmosis, which occurs through that structure of the cell. We'll also learn about nucleus, cytoplasm, cell division, organelles, everything. So I hope you understood this video. Thank you. Bye. Signing off, Agastya.